To sew a lined patch pocket, I've pinned the two pieces of the pocket together good to good, and I've made a mark at the middle of the bottom. I'm going to leave an opening about 5 centimeters in length. So I'm going to start at one side of that opening, and I'm going to sew this seam on a 3/8 inch seam or a 1 centimeter seam. I'm not going to sew on a 5/8 inch seam. So I start, reverse, move pins as you get to them, come to what you think is a centimeter or 3/8 of an inch from the end, needle in, foot up, and pivot, and you can check it when you turn it if you're correct. Don't need to reverse, just pivot and keep sewing. Again, needle in where you think it is, lift the foot, pivot. And the other side. Okay. So we're sewing 3 sides fully and leaving an opening on the one side on the bottom. And I sew to my mark, reverse, needle up, foot up, cut those threads. And before I flip my pocket, I'm going to trim the corners. So I cut a triangle off and then another little taper, because anytime you have a 90-degree angle, you want to reduce bulk. So you've got 4 corners, so you must trim off 4 triangles and then taper the 2 sides after. Okay. Now I'm ready to flip. Use my fingers and I pull it. And because I reversed at beginning and end, I don't have to worry about that hole getting any bigger. So I start it with my fingers. And then I use a pointer, a bamboo stick, to get those 4 corners out. So you'll just poke it in each one carefully so that it comes out at a nice 90-degree angle. So do it to all 4 and then bring it to the steamer. So now I'm just going to press the pocket flat on both sides. And there really isn't any good or bad side, but the pocket is nicely pressed flat, and now I'll bring it to the garment to sew it on. So I'm going to put the clear foot on the machine, put it in the bin so I don't lose it, just so that I can see a little better with the clear foot. And I'm going to line it up at the top, and again, never start at the very top, always start about a centimeter from the top, and then reverse back a few stitches, and then forward. And I'm sewing as close to the edge as I can manage. And it's nice and easy to see because of the clear foot. Get to the corner, needle in, press the foot up and pivot. And whenever those pins are in your way, just remove them. And the beauty of doing a lined pocket is I didn't have to do any hemming. Basically, sewing the lining took care of that for me. So take your time, pivot at the corner, and reverse at the top, and then cut your threads at the end and back at the beginning. And now this can be done, or if you'd like, you can sew a second line with the foot right on the edge so that you have 2 lines. And if you look at most jean pockets do have 2 lines of stitching. It's mostly for decoration. It also makes your pocket more secure. But the important thing is that if you choose to do a second line, you must be extremely neat because it's very visible. If your second line is not evenly spaced against your first line, it's not going to look so great. And there you have a lined patch pocket.